Hi, today we're going to take a look at searching in Gmail, which is Google's web-based email platform. We all know that Google is well known for search, and they bring that powerful search to Gmail and to make sure we never have to lose an email or get frustrated looking for one ever again. So here we are in my Gmail inbox, and I've been using this one for quite a while. You can see I've got plenty of labels built up, and they're all color-coded, and you can see some of my emails have more than one label, but let's talk about searching. So here is our search box, and you'll notice when I click into it, it's got a couple of things that it's suggesting, and this time clock next to it means that these are recent searches that I've done. But let's say that I'm just going to look for an email from somebody, which is probably how most of our email goes. Well, you'll notice I don't have to use somebody's email address. For example, I'm looking up email from Jeannie Herrick. But what's really cool about this is I can also say who else might have been in the email, or who the email might have been from is Jeannie, but it might have been to someone else, and I remember that I was included on this email. So over here, I will go over here and say Michael, and those aren't the Michael I mean. I mean Michael Ornelas from the Alisal Tech Department. So then I hit enter, and you see it's narrowed it down to the one email that I was looking for. This one right here, and it's found the email for me. So that's pretty cool, but it can also look for keywords. So for example, if I said trainer password, then I would have all these emails, and you'll notice I've made a typo, and Google is even looking for it for me. Now this is way too many emails. I can just keep scrolling and scrolling forever. But now if I just add another word to it, what I was going to say was Eventbrite, but Gmail is suggesting that for me, and I see here when I say trainer Eventbrite password, it's looking for all three of those words. So let's head back here and let's take a look at the search options. So you'll notice I can look for from and to, and I can look in subject lines or has the words. This is a really useful one here if you're just looking for has the words. For example, if I just say budget, I get all these different searches. If I come back into here and say advocate, which is a newsletter I subscribe to, suddenly I've narrowed it down to all those things. So let's come at it again, and then let's look at the date. Let's say within 1 week of, let's say a month ago, let's say. And you see I've narrowed it down yet again. So I'm saying who it's from. I'm saying who it's from when I say advocate. I'm using the keyword budget, and then I'm giving it, I gave it a date range. After January 29 and before 13, because I said a week of that date, and now I've narrowed it down to these sorts of results. So let's head back here. One of my other favorite ways of searching for things is to come up here and type the word has and then colon, and then when I type an A, you see it completes the word attachment for me. Now, what I want to point out is over here, these paper clips out at the edge of the by the date, these mean that these all have an attachment, that somebody has attached something onto them. So if I then type a space and say Barbara, and I can actually spell Barbara, then it narrows it down to just things from Barbara that also have an attachment, and I have narrowed my search yet again. So if I know somebody's sent me something with an attachment and I know who sent it to me, I can narrow it down that way as well, looking for just things that they've sent me that do have an attachment. Well, let's talk about that word has. Notice that even just using the word has, I have all these things, search suggestions that come up because it's constantly looking. So if we went and showed, this is why I suggested using has the words, because this has, this looks through everything. It looks in email addresses, it looks in subject lines, and it looks in the body of the email. This doesn't have is also really useful because it allows you to say, I want it to have the word, for example, we're looking for food, but we don't want to talk about sandwiches. It was this conversation where we were talking about maybe food, but this means that anything, let's see if anything actually comes up. I'm not actually certain if anything's going to come up. So apparently I have a lot of emails that have the word food in it, but don't have the word sandwiches. So you could just type that in directly, food, and then use the minus sign and then sandwiches. But hopefully this has given you some idea on the ridiculously powerful search that works here in Gmail. If you are on the Alisal training site, you'll notice a little note next to this video that has a link to the advanced search operators for Gmail. There's really a lot more you can do in the search, and I urge you, and all those search operators would be typed into here. If you use Google Hangouts and you need to look for a phrase or something that was said in a Google Hangout chat, you can come into Gmail. For example, if I said team dinner Santa Maria, when you see this symbol here on the side, this is the little Hangouts icon, and this means that it has actually searched into the text of a Google Hangout chat. So this search is not just in Gmail, it's also in Google Hangouts. It's incredibly useful, and I don't think I've ever lost an email since I switched to Gmail. Happy searching!